I think there's a good chance of that. And I've lived in currency-controlled countries, and it's like being in a financial prison, because if you wanted to take money out, you couldn't. And they want to control everybody's money because they believe that it all belongs to them.
Well, let me expand on that. It is their fiat false money. We are the idiots that got conned by them, so in a sick way, it's true. But kind of like when a killer has a woman strapped down, he's about to rape and kill. It's his ball game. So in a way, she does belong to him because she got in the car with him or got kidnapped. It's very sick, but possession's 9/10 of the law. We are their slaves until we stand up on our hind legs and say no. But, you're bringing up what you just said is in a lot of their own documents and statements about what they're planning, that what they're going to do is lock the borders down with this new hemispheric travel card. And then they've already said they're just going to give all the illegal aliens in Mexico the new North American Union ID card. That American hemispheric card everybody hears on the news and everybody's getting, that's in Canada and Mexico too. Their governments just issue them. It's going to be accepted by our government. And so the illegals are going to be allowed to go in and out. It's going to be slave Americans who aren't. They're going to keep the illegals off the no-fly list and the no-border list. I mean, this is all so selectively done, Bob.
Yeah, and they want that, essentially slave labor, which is so important for them to make the profits that continue to allow them to suppress the people.
Not just profits, though, as you know, undermining real middle-class wages that allow you to provide for your family.
Well, they suck it down from the bottom in this case, and they pull wages down at the lower end of the scale. That's why these people who are making automobiles and support industries in that area went from $30 down to $10 to $15 if they're lucky per hour, if they can get a job. And the same thing, incidentally, has happened in Mexico. The labor unions there have been forced to drop Mexican wages to the level, in many instances, of Chinese wages in order to keep the business so that they can keep people working.
The race to the bottom, the sucking sound.
That's right. And, we were talking about mercantilization, and we tried it in 1790 to 1800, and it was a disaster. And that's why we put tariffs in, and that's why we became such a successful nation, or at least in part. That's part of the reason. We realized that we couldn't compete with slave labor, and we've got to do that again, and we need that legislation as soon as we get rid of the Fed.
Bob Chapman's our guest. 2 more segments with him. Your call straight ahead on the other side on the economy. Bob Chapman, theinternationalforecaster.com is the website. Get a free trial copy there. And later, before Bob leaves us, he'll give you a toll-free number to get a free complimentary copy as well. INFOWARS.com. All right, let's go ahead and go to some phone calls here for Bob Chapman. Let's talk to Dwayne in Pennsylvania. You're on the air with Bob Chapman.
Hi, Alex. Hi, Bob. I have a question for something that Bob mentioned a few months back, and that is the percentage of goods that Americans produce for their own consumption. I think you mentioned it was around 12%. Do you think the figure's below that now with all the auto factories shutting down?
And those figures vary from different sources. Some of them have it at 9.5%, and some of them have it at 10%. So we'll say it's somewhere between 9 and 12%.
That's unbelievable. It's what's going to happen when we lose our machine tool industry?
Well, I think we're on the verge of doing that now. And once we lose the machine tool industry, we can no longer manufacture in the future if we want to without bringing machine tool experts in from other countries to teach new people to operate those kind of machines.
But we're in the post-industrial eugenics world, so under the carbon footprint, we won't be having those. To make sure we go bankrupt, they're bringing that in now while other countries don't have to. Oh, how friendly. Thank you, Dwayne. Mike in Nevada, you're on the air with Bob Chapman. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I have 3 quick questions. They're kind of a little bit off topic of the.
Well, you're on a really bad speakerphone, so go ahead and ask them.
Okay, all right. 3 quick questions. Is Microsoft part of the New World Order?
Yes.
And
yes.
Okay. So is supporting open source like Linux BSD, is that a small way of fighting the New World Order?
Yes.
Okay, definitely. All right. Now, is it better? It certainly is better for us to focus on both, but is it better to take back the federal government or focus on taking our state governments back?
Both, but you get more results locally. That's the real gap the enemy hasn't gotten yet. Bob Chapman.
I agree, and this sovereign movement especially. And so the area that you can work with the most easily is the local level, the state level.
Absolutely, sir. God bless you, Mike. Law. I think I know Law. That's a big, huge 9/11 truther. Or maybe somebody else named Law is calling from Colorado. But, yeah, when they attacked me with my bullhorn, we just put Luke up on his shoulders with the bullhorn and they couldn't reach it. We're going to simulcast at prisonplanet.tv for the last hour and 52 minutes. Coming up in the next segment with Dr. Paul Craig Robertson. We've got the great Bob Chapman on the line with us. We're about to go to Law in Colorado. It is the Law, I know. What a great guy. You can see that footage in the Obama extras where they attack us for having the bullhorn, and then Law shows up with the bullhorn and Luke Rudowski, and he put him up on his shoulders, and Law's like 6'6", 6'7". It's hilarious. They really start throwing fits. But classic stuff. But real fast, Bob Chapman, fire out the toll-free number for folks that want to call and get the latest complimentary copy of the International Forecaster.
And that's the toll-free number, 877-479-8178. 877-479-8178.
Fantastic. And folks can also go to theinternationalforecaster.com. Got a new one coming out tomorrow. Let's go to Law in Colorado. Law, you're on the air with Bob Chapman. Go ahead.
Hi, hello, Alex, and hello, Bob. Great to finally get on the show. Really, I didn't have any questions. I just was wanting to tell you about, I'm not sure if you're aware, but for the first time in U.S. history here, KBDI Channel 12 actually got Press for Truth on the PBS station here in Denver.
Oh yeah, we actually put links to that up in their fundraising drive. Yeah, that's PBS that isn't under Rockefeller's control, and I believe they're the same ones that showed America Freedom to Fascism, and Franchi was also on their pitching Endgame. So,
yes.
Did they air Endgame or did they just give it away for donations?
No, they were actually giving it away at a certain level of donation, but we were all pretty amazed about that for sure. But so that was really tremendous. You know, I really wanted to relate to what you guys were talking about before about how the change is becoming palpable. You can sense it now. We had just a big week. Started out with the KBDI. It was really 9/11 visibility, Fran Schur and the people over there that made that happen. They took about a year and a half to really get the thing rolling, and they had a tremendous response. I mean, they were breaking records in just their first commercial pledge break, so that was really telling. I mean,
absolutely, it is telling, and the enemy knows we're the majority, but they know that most people don't know that, so they're desperately trying to make us all look fringe. But in the beginning, a patriot is a scarce man, hated and feared. But in time when his cause succeeds, the timid join him, because then it costs nothing to be a patriot. There's still a great cost, but it's getting easier and easier. And as more of us stand up, there are less and less targets that the New World Order can single out because there's too many of us, because there's too many targets. They can't shut us down. So power in numbers. Bob Chapman?
I agree completely.
Well, Law, I got to get Colorado Change on in the near future. Just all of you guys are just doing such an amazing job. Fire out the website.
Oh, heck yeah. It'd be wearechangecolorado.org, actually. That's where you can check us out and get in touch. And another point I wanted to make was we did the People's Fair again this weekend. We gave away over 1,300 free DVDs. And I wanted to thank you, Alex. It's really an honor to be on the Obama Deception DVD. It's really fantastic. The MSNBC event there is going to go down in my own personal history as one of the greatest times I've had.
Well, you know, they were laughing when they were punching and hitting me and cut the microphone cord on the bullhorn and attacked me, and then attacked our camera guy viciously. But I just sat there and let them laugh at me, and you guys got there in 15 minutes with more bullhorns, and we said, okay, attack us and shut us down. We'll come back with 4 bullhorns. Shut those down. We'll come back with 8 bullhorns. Exactly. And, but I mean, it was so archetypal to have them attack me viciously, and then you show up huge, you know, like a NFL center, but without the big belly, and to sit there with Luke on the shoulders. It was just so archetypal how they crushed me, and then an even bigger Phoenix rose right out of the ground. It was really spiritual. So that's on the Obama Deception extras. Bob Chapman, great talking to you. Hopefully we'll see you here next week if things haven't totally imploded. And Law, good hearing from you.
Thank you. I'll be there.
All right, Bob, you're the best. Law, you're great as well. All right, we'll be right back. Got a lot of calls and Dr. Paul Craig Roberts straight ahead. I'm Alex Jones. This is the one, the only GCN Radio Network, coming to you via PrisonPlanet.com.